Welcome friends. Let us go for metallurgy. Whereas metals are very important. Metals are acting as good conductors of electricity. Metals are known for their strength, and metals are having their unique properties. On behalf of these particular things, metals are so useful for the mankind. Hence, extraction of metals is necessary. Extraction of metals is compulsory because metals in generally not present in their native state. Generally metals are present in the combined state because they are reactive. So therefore the process related to the extraction of metals from their natural availability sources and the conversion of metals into the other compounds which are helpful for the mankind, these two things related information is generally said to be the metallurgy. Whereas we are just dealing here with the basic metallurgy, that is the processes used for the conversion of naturally available materials into corresponding metals. Metals, as I said in the beginning, these are acting as good conductors of electricity and are reactive. But some of the metals, very few numbers of metals, are very less reactive and they are present in their elemental state or pure state because they even does not react with the atmospheric gases like oxygen. We know nitrogen is almost all very less reactive inert gas, whereas the remaining like carbon dioxide as well as the moisture present in the atmosphere also doesn't combine with certain metals, and these metals are said to be the native metals. The other name of these native metals is nuggets. Yes, here once again metals are very important because they are acting as good conductors, they are having good strength and they are having their unique properties. Metallurgy deals with the methods of extraction of metals from their naturally occurring sources and conversion of the metals into the other materials which are useful for the mankind. Generally metals are having good reactivity, but certain metals are very less reactive, even they can't react with the atmospheric oxygen, carbon dioxide, even the moisture present in the atmosphere. Hence they are present in free state or elemental state. Such kind of metals are said to be the native metals. The other name of native metals is nuggets. The next is classification of metals on behalf of their nature of availability. Some of the metals are available in free state, as we said, or free state is also said to be the elemental state. And some of the metals are not available in free state or the elemental state. And these of all are said to be the nuggets, whereas these are available in the combined state, hence are said to be the combined state related to the available metals. Whereas examples for the nuggets or the free state elements are palladium, platinum, copper, silver, iron, mercury. These are the elements because these are less reactive. They are not combined with the any of the components present in the atmosphere, even moisture. Hence, these are available in their free state. Whereas remaining almost all the metals are available in the combined state. Whereas the abundancy of the elements, if you look at once, here the oxygen is the most abundant element. I am not talking about the metals. Metal is also an element. So therefore oxygen followed by silicon, and the next is aluminium, iron, calcium, sodium, potassium, magnesium. This is the order of abundance of the elements in the earth crust. On the earth crust, different varieties of elements are there. They are present in, some of them are present in free state, some of them are present in combined state. So therefore, on the earth crust, the mostly they occurs in the form of combined state, whereas in combined state, oxygen is the first position, second is silicon, aluminium, and the iron followed by the calcium, sodium, potassium, magnesium are the orders related to the abundance of the elements on the earth crust. Whereas regarding aluminium, because oxygen is non-metal, silicon is non-metal, then the first metal, that is highest abundancy containing metal on earth crust is, that is aluminium, whereas it is the third most abundant element as far elements are concerned, and it is the first most metal element on the earth crust. Whereas if you look at the numbering, this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3, this is 4, 5, 6, and this is 7, this is 8, like this numbering is present. Whereas the oxygen and silicon are non-metals, remaining aluminium is metal, iron is metal, calcium is metal, sodium is metal, potassium is metal, magnesium, all are metals. These of all are metals, hence aluminium is the first most abundant metal element in the earth crust and third most metal available in earth crust. Yes, except in case of the nuggets, in all the cases, metals are present in the combined state and mostly they are associated with the some other impurities. And some cases these impurities are also becoming very valuable. Whereas those cases are occurs in aluminium. Aluminium is very reactive metal present in the form of combined state and occurs in nature as of its oxide known as alumina in the form of hydrated alumina, that is bauxite Al2O3 2H2. Whereas this bauxite is also associated with some other materials as impurities, but in case of this aluminium that is impurities associated with alumina are also very useful. Suppose if it is having chromium as impurity, chromium followed by alumina is used as ruby. Similarly, cobalt followed by alumina is used as sapphire. These both are used as gems in jewelry. Some technical words related to the metallurgy. The natural substance in which metal is either available in elemental state or in combined state is generally said to be the mineral. But in general, every particular metal is having more than one forms, more than one combined forms. Hence, it is associated with more than one mineral forms. Whereas all minerals are not suitable for the extraction of the metals, the mineral which is suitable for the extraction of metal is known as with another name, that name is ore. So therefore what we can say is every ore is a mineral, but every mineral is not an ore. Suppose in case of aluminium, it is having clay as a mineral as well as bauxite also as a mineral. Clay is consisting of aluminium, bauxite is also consisting of aluminium. But clay is not suitable for the extraction of aluminium, whereas from bauxite we can do the same. So therefore bauxite is considered as stage 2, that is nothing but what ore, but whereas just clay is stopped at the mineral stage. Thus what we can say is every ore is a mineral, but every mineral is not an ore. Now the process related to the extraction of metal from the ore, otherwise deciding of a particular mineral as a ore, depends on factors like how much percentage of metal is present. Second one, what is the magnitude of impurity or the individual impurities. Third one, the nature of impurities. Fourth one, the cost involved in the extraction. Fifth one, the easiness of the process. And sixth one, the utility of the byproducts obtained in the extraction process. These are all things together decides a particular mineral is suitable for the extraction, and that particular mineral which is suitable for the extraction of metal is known as ore. Thus, these are the things. Once again to your notice, the natural substance in which metal occurs either in free state or in combined state is known as mineral. In general, every metal is having more than one minerals. All minerals are not suitable for the extraction, whereas the mineral suitable for extraction is known as ore. In case of aluminium, clay is also ore, bauxite is also ore, clay is also mineral, bauxite is also mineral, but clay is just said to be the mineral, but the bauxite reaches to the second stage, it is suitable for the extraction, hence it is said to be the ore. Factors like the above said, percentage of mineral, magnitude of impurity and the impurities, nature of impurities, cost involved in the extraction, easiness of the process, utility of the byproducts, all these things decides a particular mineral is suitable for the extraction and is considered as ore. As a overall, what we can conclude is every ore is a mineral, but every mineral may not be a ore. Yes, metals are electropositive in nature and they readily combines with the electronegative elements or the molecular species, like they may combine with oxygen, they may combine with the carbonate CO3 2-, directly combine with sulfur, any of the halogen, as well as sulfates, phosphates followed by silicates. And also in certain cases what happens is, as a mixture also they can be available, mixture of carbonates and the hydroxides, mixture of sulfides, mixture of halides, mixture of silicates. In some cases corresponding these of all things can be associated with the water molecules as hydrates. Thus different varieties of the metals, on behalf of their nature, they may combine with any of the electronegative elements or any of the combination of electronegative elements, followed by hydrated form also can be present for the minerals which are available in the earth crust. First one is oxide minerals, that is metal combines with the oxygen and present in the form of oxides. Those important oxide minerals as per the group is concerned, from the P black elements to D black elements in order wise. Aluminium is present in the form of alumina oxide, alumina, which is known as Al2O3 dihydrate, that is Al2O3 2H2 is said to be the bauxite. This is oxide of aluminium. This is boron family. And next one is carbon family, that is cassiterite, which is also known as tin stone, present in the form of SnO2. Sn is present in +4 oxidation state. Similarly, D black elements, the first D black elements, scandium, titanium, vanadium, like that. Chromium is present, chromite, Cr2O3 followed by FeO combination, pyrolusite, MnO2, that is manganese dioxide, hematite, Fe2O3, whereas magnetite, Fe3O4, cuprite, Cu2O, and zincsite is ZnO. Whereas in this bauxite, aluminium is present in +3 oxidation state. SnO2 cassiterite, tin is present in +4 oxidation state. Chromite is consisting of chromium +3 oxidation state and ferrous is of +2. Pyrolusite, manganese is present in +4 oxidation state. In hematite, iron is present in +3 oxidation state. Magnetite is a mixture of FeO and Fe2O3. Some ferrous is present in +2 state, some other ferrous is present in +3 state. Cuprite is present with copper +1 oxidation state. Zincsite is present, zinc with the +2 oxidation states. And as per the early discussion related to the classification of combinations, here the first one, alumina, belongs to the hydrated oxides. Yes, oxide in association with water, and remaining certain extent are just simple oxides. Whereas this one, that is chromite, is Cr2O3 and FeO combinations, which is mixture of oxides, mixture of different oxides, different metals. One is chromium oxide, Cr2O3, second one is ferrous oxide, FeO, and remaining all are normal oxides. Whereas magnetite is mixture of same metal oxides, that is intramixture, ferrous with +2, ferrous with +3, and remaining are normal. In this way, the important oxides related to the metallurgical processes, metallurgical minerals and ores are like this. Now let us go for the second part. Next important minerals are carbonate minerals. Carbonate minerals are available for the metals like magnesium carbonate is said to be magnesite. Similarly, limestone, calcium carbonate, which is also known as marble, and the dolomite, which is combination of magnesium as well as the calcium carbonates 1:1 ratio. Siderite, ferrous carbonate. Malachite is copper carbonate followed by copper hydroxide in +2 oxidation states in 1:1 ratio. Azurite, copper carbonate is 2 times, whereas copper hydroxide is 1 time. 2:1 ratio of the copper carbonate and the copper hydroxide. Mixture of carbonates and the hydroxides is azurite, and calamite is zinc carbonate. Look at the oxidation states of the metals. In magnesite, it is of +2, whereas in limestone, everybody knows calcium is of +2. Dolomite, it is combination of both, that is intermixture of same carbonate, and that is calcium 2+ followed by magnesium 2+. Siderite is having ferrous carbonate, Fe present in +2 state. Malachite, 1:1 ratio of copper carbonate, copper hydroxide, cation is same, metal is same. Whereas azurite, copper is same, but 2:1 ratio of copper carbonate and the copper hydroxide, copper is present in +2 state. Calamite is normal carbonate, that is zinc carbonate, zinc is present in +2 oxidation state. Yes, minerals in the form of sulfides, that is S-2, galena, PbS, whereas lead is present in +2 state, sulfur is present in -2 state. Iron pyrite is FeS2, that is iron is present in +2 state. and sulfur, two sulfurs are present with minus 2 oxidation state. Copper glands Cu2s, copper is of plus 1 state, sulfur is of minus 2 state, whereas copper pyrite is, otherwise it is also known as chalcopyrite, and the formula is CuFeS2, whereas in broader sense we can say that as Cu2s followed by Fe2S3. Copper is present in plus 1 state, ferrous is present in plus 3 state, whereas sulfur here, sulfur is present in minus 2 state, and here 3 sulfurs, S3 is having minus 2 oxidation state. This is mixture of sulfides, whereas silver glands, that is AgS, silver is present in plus 1, sulfur is as usual minus 2 oxidation state. Zinc blend, which is also known as sparlite, and having ZnS as the formula, zinc is of plus 2 state and sulfur is of minus 2 oxidation states. These are the sulfide ores occurring in the earth crust. Halide minerals in which halogen atom is present, generally that is fluorine and the chlorines. Rock salt, sodium chloride, whereas cryolite, Na3AlF6, that is combination of sodium fluoride and the aluminium fluoride in 3:1 ratio. Carnallite, MgCl2, KCl6H2O, on silver is silver chloride. Whereas out of these of all, the cryolite is mixed halide, whereas carnallite is mixed followed by hydrated halide. Sulfate minerals, gypsum, calcium sulfate 2H2O, and the barium sulfate is said to be the barytes, whereas gypsum is the hydrated form of the calcium sulfate. Calcium is present in plus 2 state, baryte is simple sulfate, barium sulfate, barium is present in once again here plus 2 oxidation state. Silicate minerals, asbestos, magnesium silicate to calcium silicate in 3:1 ratio, that is a mixed silicate, and the colimate, that is Al2O3, 2SiO2, 2H2O. It is having aluminium in aluminium 3 plus form. It is hydrated form of simple aluminium silicate related mineral. Yes, malachite is a basic carbonate of the copper, whereas copper on exposure to the atmosphere, otherwise the moisture, here it will takes the carbon dioxide from the moisture as well as moistures related, atmosphere related carbon dioxide and the moisture related water combines with the copper, and it is converted to copper carbonate and the copper hydroxide, which forms a layer over the surface of the copper having green in color. And this particular combination of copper carbonate and the copper hydroxide is said to be the malachite. The metallurgy basically involves the extraction is divided into sections for our easiness of understanding. It is divided into 3 major parts to get the pure metal from the mineral, otherwise the ore. The first part is concentration of the ore. The impurities present in the ore are to be removed, and we have to make it higher in concentration of the metal that is going to be extracted, and it is consisting of methods like hand picking, hydraulic washing, electromagnetic separation, froth flotation, liquefaction, as well as the leaching. These are the methods generally used. Whereas second part is extraction of the crude metal. For that, generally what we will do is ore is converted to oxide, and oxide is reduced to metal. Method 1, method 2, followed by in some cases hydraulic metallurgy, electrolytic metallurgy, electrolytic reduction can also be applied. And here the third part, that is refining of the crude metal. After getting the metal has to be refined to the maximum pureness, whereas those are done either by distillation, liquefaction, poling, cupellation, electrolytic refining, vapor phase refining like Mott's process and the Van Erkel process, and chromatographic refining. These are the general parts, part 1, part 2, part 3, followed by consisting of different methods under concentration of ore, reduction of the ore to the metal, and the refining of the metal. Thus, the total metallurgical system consisting of such kind of operations. Some other technical names of the processes. Here the hydraulic washing is also known as gravity separation, otherwise the levitation. Whereas this the name of the concentration of ore is said to be the beneficiation, otherwise dressing of the ore. Similarly here conversion of oxide to metal of the part 2 consisting of methods like calcination, roasting, smelting, and involves the general reduction followed by metals followed by the auto reduction processes also. And remaining all things we will discuss in clearly. And these particular any of the specific things are applied for each particular variety of the metal, because for some of them any one of the concentration method is applicable. For some of the metals either this method, otherwise hydrolytic metallurgical reductions or the electrolytic metallurgical reductions can be applicable. And on behalf of the nature of impurities and the nature of the metal, any of the refining method can be applied. These are all varieties of things applicable for all varieties of metals. Anyone can go for any one of them on behalf of their properties. And after this, followed by we have the extraction techniques related to the ferrous, copper, aluminium and the zinc, and followed by the thermodynamic involvement of the progressness of the reaction by Ellingham diagrams and its concept of linking with the reactions occurring in the processes, followed by the uses related to the metals. This is the total story consistent of the metallurgical operations and the metallurgy of the elements, uses followed by the basic thermodynamic applications over the metallurgy and the furnaces. Yes, before starting of the thermodynamical processes, that is metallurgical processes, concentration of the ore. Before concentration, whatever the available ores are there, they may be available in the bigger quantities in the form of lumps. They are to be broken into small pieces with the help of hammers, otherwise the jaw crushers. Whereas the small sized pieces are also made into powder with the help of the special machines are said to be the and converted into the powder, and that process of conversion of the ore material into smallest powder state from the small pieces is said to be the pulverization process. Metals are very important in our biological system also, and also at the biology of the world biology is also consisting important metals. Whereas metals like carbon and hydrogen are major ingredient of the human system. Iodine is present in the seaweeds, these are deposited at the sea plant kingdom, and magnesium is present in chlorophyll of the plants. Potassium and nitrogen is very important in the plant cycles, plant life cycles. Magnesium, ferrous and copper are present in the chloroplast. Vanadium is present in sea cucumber. Ferrous is present in hemoglobin, and zinc is present in certain eyes of the animals. Thus, metals are very important for our biological system also, especially for human system also. Hemoglobin consisting, cobalt is also consisting in the human system. Similarly, iodine is present, ferrous is present, and hydrogen carbon are the major ingredients of the human body. Here in the conversion of ore to oxide consisting of methods like calcination, otherwise roasting, whereas conversion of oxide to metal, the second part consisting of smelting process, and the other reduction processes like regular reducing agents, metals as reducing agents, and the other things. And the other techniques not using the normal things are hydrometallurgy as well as the electrolytic reduction techniques.